Hello and welcome. It's Pete here again, and do you know what? I recently did a TV show where we launched the wonderful redesigned Big Shot Machine. The response has been phenomenal, and thank you for that. But there are a few questions, mainly about the differences between the new machine and the old machine. So we're going to have a look. I'm going to show you them side by side, first and foremost. Let's reach in and grab my Big Shot, and this is my Big Shot. This is my my Big Shot from upstairs, which I don't want to retire, but we'll see. Now you can see, obviously, the original Big Shot is longer than the new Big Shot. That is purely for space saving. It doesn't change the functionality. It's about the same width, although the old one looks a little narrower because it cuts in like that, and the bed itself is is more rounded off on that, but that is just an aesthetic change. It's not about the functionality. What you really need to know is that the internal workings of this Big Shot and that Big Shot are exactly the same, and that is super important because the machine's reputation is built on its durability, its reliability. These are machines that people have had for the best part of 20 years, and they're still using the same machine. Maybe they changed the plates a couple of times in that time, but the machine keeps on going. And that's why people love the Big Shot, because they know that they can trust it. So the internal workings are exactly the same. Let's have a look at some of the other features. Obviously, the feet. This one has 6 little feet. This one has 4, but they're bigger at each corner. That gives you more grip, so hopefully more stability, and it's a slightly different type of silicone, so better from a grip point of view, because we want it to hold tight when we're working. But the other key difference obviously is the handle. Now, some of you have said, rightly so, this handle is fantastic for moving it about and for carrying it. This one is a little wider. The grip is wider. So, you know, for me, it's quite easy. I have relatively small hands, I've got to be honest with you. Let's take that handle off. We'll talk about that in a second. But this for me, even if I'm doing stuff like that, you know, it's not difficult. And like I said, my hands are the same size as my wife. She's 5'2", so there you go. But yes, obviously, another concession we've made is putting these dimples here for carrying. So if you need to pick it up, you need to carry it, you can do it two-handed here. If you want to pick it up from the front, that's fine as well. Just for turning it around, for maneuvering it, but having those really makes a difference, because most people, they're just taking it from here and putting it on the shelf. So this handle, did you see how easily I took that off? Click. That's all it is. There's a little button, you depress it, you pop it back in. But the clever thing, and this is a change that we've been wanting to make for a long, long time. There's a recess that sits in there. Now, if you want to carry it about, if you want to take it somewhere with you, if you want to put it away for storage, it's so easy without that handle getting in the way. But when it comes time to play, it slips on. That is a lovely feature. Now, when we're talking about the top of the machine, again, let's see if we can see this on the overhead. One of the things, now, a friend of mine, Hazel, when I did the launch show, she saw this and she said, I would buy that machine just for this feature. The fact that you can take your platform and plates out and place it on the top like that. Obviously, you can't do it with the old Big Shot, but now you can. So it's so much easier if you're working in a tight area, if you don't have the space, to be able to do that is phenomenal. So that's why we went for this design over that design. It's a practical consideration. So everything else is just aesthetic differences to bring this into the 21st century, and also to match a switch machine. And when we're talking about other machines, people have asked about, are we bringing out a brand new Plus? Well, not this year, but you never know, you never know. So a lot of people have asked, why is the machine not foldable. Well, obviously from a space-saving perspective, that is better, but it adds to the cost. When you put those foldable wings, you have to engineer them so well so that because they're constantly moving, you don't want them to break. So it adds to the cost significantly, to be honest with you. So we just wanted to tackle one design at a time. So this is the Big Shot. You never know what's going to happen in the future. People have asked about electronic machines as well. They say, why in 2025 are we redesigning a crank machine? Well, we already have an electronic machine in our switch. I've got it under here actually. So that is the switch machine, a gorgeous, gorgeous modern looking machine. But if we put them side by side, you see, there's not that much difference in the footprint, really, even though this is an A4 machine and this is A5, so the cutting area is half the size. So we don't feel, because of the success of the switch machine, we feel that we're fine with this at the moment. And you know what? People love crank machines. Now, some of you who love electronic machines and you come to rely on them, there are people that equally would never go electric. They love the crank machine. They love, I'm a crank user myself. The Big Shot's my go-to machine. I do use other machines from time to time, depending on the job I'm doing, but I love a crank handle. It gives me more control. Now let's just talk a little bit about the machine, the Big Shot machine, why people love it and why it needs to be strong and durable. Let's take my plates and platform. These come with the machine, obviously. This is your wafer thin die adapter, your base platform, and your two cutting plates. Now, I've got behind me some materials, and we'll take them one by one. The great thing is, always with the Big Shot, the instructions are on the platform. So there's no downloading a PDF, there's no searching around for the paper instructions, which do come with the machine, but it's all there. So even if English isn't your first language, it doesn't matter. It's there in pictorial form. And that's why so many professionals and store owners will use Big Shot machines in workshops, because it's easy to get along with. It's intuitive. You only need to see it once and you're there. Now let's run this through. So this is a wafer thin die. So popular wafer thin dies out there. And manufacturers of wafer thin dies, if you're wondering about compatibility with other brands, there are over 2 million Big Shot machines in the hands of makers around the world. Imagine making a die that doesn't fit on 2 million machines. Wouldn't be a smart move. So from a future-proofing perspective, you can rest assured that whatever comes out, 99.9% of it will work on the Big Shot. Now, let's take a look at embossing. Now, 3D embossing, 2D embossing. If you have the thinner folders, the old 2D folders, they work also on this machine, but I'm going to concern myself with 3D. So that slips in there. We take a single cutting plate, use the base platform. So embossing, there's more pressure when you're running an embossing folder through, believe it or not. So pressure puts pressure on your rollers, puts pressure on your bearings, on your plates, on everything. Now, that's why you need a durable machine, even pressure on the handle. Let's have a look at that. And I'll show you something amazing in a second about how little pressure you need. Now that is your embossing folder. Really, really cool, very deep, very impressive. Now, let's talk about Big's dies. Now, some of you, if you came to die cutting, say 4 or 5 years ago, you might not know about Big's dies. Big's dies, millions of these around the world. There's a deep steel blade in here. Why do you have a steel blade? Well, what if you want to cut mat board? Or what if you want to cut marquetry wood? Or balsa wood? Or any textile, for example? Well, these are the dies for you. But obviously, to cut materials like that, you need a machine that is rugged enough to allow you to do that. I'll take that off the top. Look at that. That is mat board, so cleanly and crisply cut, and so effortlessly as well. And that's because of the power and strength of the machine. Now I'm going to do one more thing, and this is going to show you, hopefully, how little pressure you need. Because I've got my die, and I've got a piece of felt. I'm going to fold that once, so that's 2 layers. Double it up, that's 4 layers. Double it up again, that is 8 layers. Look at how thick that is. I'm going to place it on one of the hearts. Now, already, that sandwich, I mean, you're probably thinking, how am I going to get it into the machine? I don't know myself, but we're going to do it. Now, you'd think I would need to be so strong to allow me to do this, but I'm going to get it into position. You see, so I'm actually having to force this in, right? I'm pushing it, and it's not going in. So let's pull this back. Let's try it the other way. There's always a way, you see. So let's do it again. And again, getting the bite point. But there it is. That's it. Now it's working. Now I'm using my little finger. And I'm holding that in place. Okay? Like that, just using my little finger to crank it through. And that's 8 layers of felt. See how thick that is. But I knew, even when I was struggling to put it through, I knew it was going to go through. Because you wouldn't normally cut 8 layers of felt like that. You've just got 8 separate felt hearts cut out. It's just amazing. But how little effort did that take? Just using my little finger to get to there. Quite incredible. And that's why you need that durability, you need that strength. And you need to be able to trust your machine to do a demonstration like that on camera, and I do it live on TV as well. I trust the machine. You trust the machine too, which is obviously why there are over 2 million of these around the world. But let's just recap and talk about some of the major things. Okay, the most important thing to many of you is the fact that the differences are mostly cosmetic. The internal workings are exactly the same from the old machine to the new machine. There's just slightly different feet. This one, the new machine, is a little shorter. That's for space saving. The handle, being able to take that off so easily, so cleanly, just clicks back into place and stores underneath. And allowing you to put this back on the top, like so, to work there and then to place it back into the machine. So, you know, design is a very subjective thing. Some people like one thing, some like another. But it's so nice to be able to bring this iconic machine into the 21st century. It really is. We love it here. And we know that you love it too, because we've seen all your lovely comments. So what comes after this machine, we'll just have to wait and see, because I'm not entirely sure myself. So, but yeah, having a crank machine in 2025, it certainly works for me. If you want it electronic, we've got the switch. If you want smaller, we've got the sidekick. It's about offering you options. It's about offering you something different, because we're all a little bit different in how we like to work. But the one thing we know for sure is that the Big Shot is never going to go away in a hurry. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.